Yeah. Motivated and disciplined. I'ma explore this shit one time. So check it out. It starts with interest.
Yo, what up, homie? Welcome to Aleckay TV. In today's video, I am going to give you the top 4 reasons on why you need to stop watching porn today. Let's get it. Alright, so reason number 1 is that pornography kills and cripples your confidence. I got a question for you. When was the last time you actually felt good about yourself after blowing your wad to pixels on a screen? If I were a betting man, I'd put everything on the answer being never. It may feel good in the moment while you're doing it, but then afterward, there's always this horrible feeling of guilt and shame that washes over you. And over time, the more and more you continue to engage in that kind of behavior, the more it grows and festers inside of you. This lowers your self-esteem and your confidence levels because you know that you're engaging in behavior that is beneath you. Studies have shown that men who engage in frequent porn use are actually much less confident than those who don't engage in the habit at all. This is because when you do it all the time, it becomes a habit. And a lot of the times when it does become that habit, it often takes the place of actually meeting and interacting with real women in real life. And this causes your self-esteem and your confidence, as I said earlier, to completely drop. Number 2 is that it ruins your sex drive. It really numbs down and completely cancels out your ambition and your drive to go out and meet women in the real world. When you have thousands or even millions of videos and images at your disposal instantaneously, it becomes very hard to work up the courage within yourself to go out and meet that girl that you see walking towards you on the street or in the mall or wherever it is that you happen to be. It's also been reported that men who engage in frequent porn use a lot of the times find their partners less sexually attractive and are more dissatisfied in their relationships and their marriages. And not only that, but when you use porn all the time, it causes you to put sex on a pedestal because you're constantly seeing all these beautiful, scantily clad women that are always with these like strong, big, muscle-bound meatheads. And when you're constantly seeing that over and over again in all these different videos and images, it becomes very easy to feel like you don't quite measure up in terms of what it means to be attractive as a man. This can cause you to subconsciously avoid meeting women altogether and will diminish your confidence even more. That's definitely something to keep in mind the next time you have an urge or a craving to indulge in that kind of behavior.
At times I'm anxious, the grind's abrasive. How do I just get to every one of my goals on this kind of basis? Gotta find the patience to build my oasis, because I'ma be damned if I ever leave my life complacent. Feeling like I'm working every day, but it ain't gonna happen. Even though I know that I'm paid for my way with my actions.
Hope you guys really enjoyed those aerial shots, by the way. Wasn't the easiest thing to do. I actually crashed my drone this morning. I fucking crashed my drone. Luckily it was just into some bushes, so it wasn't a big deal. The third reason is it causes erectile dysfunction. Even when they do end up with a woman, a lot of men have reported suffering from erectile dysfunction because of their consistent and regular use of pornography. This is because when you're watching a video or you're looking at an image, everything about it is manufactured. They have the perfect lighting. They got the perfect women with the perfect makeup artists. They got professional directors on set making sure every camera angle is completely flawless and impeccable. And then of course all the editing that goes into it afterward. Real life is not like that. And after continuously exposing yourself to these types of videos and images, a lot of times for years on end, it can be very difficult to be aroused by the natural beauty of a real woman in real life, because you basically conditioned yourself to become aroused by a fabricated carbon copy. This right here should be reason enough for every man to quit the shit cold turkey, in my opinion. But just in case you need a little bit more incentive, let's move on to the 4th and final reason, which is it damages your brain. Research has actually shown that pornography is harmful to your brain, and this is because of something called the Coolidge effect. This is a phenomenon seen in animals as well as in humans, where the male shows a renewed interest in sexual activity whenever a new female is introduced to have sex with. When you're watching pornography, unhealthy levels of dopamine and oxytocin flood your bloodstream. And they flood the bloodstream whenever you see a new woman or a new image. It's like you have a renewed sense of sexual urgency that pops up within your body, a new urge, every time a new woman gets introduced via a video or an image. And so more and more dopamine floods your brain. This is why porn is so addictive, because your pleasure centers and your reward neurons begin begin firing off like crazy. But here's where the problem comes in. Over time, the same videos and the same images that used to really turn you on stop having that same kind of effect on you. It's the same as a heroin addict when he injects heroin, or a drug addict when he sniffs cocaine. In the beginning, they get extremely high from these stimuli, but over time they get used to it. They become desensitized, and when that happens, they need more and more to achieve that same level of high. And it's the exact same thing with pornography. This is why it's so bad, because as you do more and more, those same images don't do it for you anymore, or those same videos don't do it for you anymore. So you start searching out more intense and more graphic videos and images. This is where you can go from maybe watching some basic softcore porn and having it evolve and escalate into more disturbing, perverse, and graphic scenes like bondage and rape scenes and all that kind of messed up shit. It can get pretty disturbing, and this eventually renders your brain less active and less connected. This is why many porn addicts have reported feeling lethargic, unsatisfied with things that used to give them great joy, like their hobbies, their interests, their passions, hanging out with friends, having sex with real girls, these kinds of things. The good thing about this though is that the brain is actually very resilient, and once they were able to completely quit the habit cold turkey, the brain eventually returned to normal levels of functioning again. Alright, so there are the 4 reasons on why you need to quit pornography today. But obviously I can't give you a bunch of reasons as to why you should quit something and not show you how to do it. So we're gonna get to that. I have 3 reasons on how to quit this habit for good, but as you know, I like to break these videos up with a lot of scenery shots and stuff like that. So we're gonna do that, and then I will give you the 3 ways on how to quit this habit for good. Let's get it.
I'm seeing people that are consistently in depression, doing work where there's just visibly no connection. Of course they'll be bitter like literally every second, where there's no greater purpose that's giving people direction. I could say it till I'm blue in the face and my voice is hoarse, but at the end of the day, the choice is yours. Can't convince you with these raps I recite, cause we all choose our own path in this life. The mission's lonely usually. It's a given, don't be foolish, G. Listen homie, truthfully, some people will just never know what it's like to go after.
Alright, back at the house, time to give the 3 ways that you can quit this habit for good. And the number 1 way right here is do your research. Really study and learn about what it is that's at play when you're doing this type of thing. Really learn about the effects and all the consequences that come along with it when this behavior is a habit for you. This was one of the things that really made a huge impact on me when I actually started learning about it, when I actually started studying it. It really affected me in a big way because I started to see all the negative consequences, and I did not want anything to do with that in my own life. And so from there, it became really easy for me to make the right decision to actually stop it. So yeah, just do your research a little bit. There's plenty of reliable resources out there that have very accurate and fact-based information. I'll put a few of them in the description below and you can check them all out. Just really educate yourself about all of the negative consequences that come along with this. It'll really open both your mind and your eyes so that you can start making better decisions going forward from here into the future. The second way that you can kick this habit is security lockup. So what you want to do here is either download a program onto your desktop or download an app onto your smartphone. So when you have these programs and apps installed, they always ask you for a password that you have to put in to lock everything up. And what I recommend here is to give that power over to a close family member or a really good friend that you trust and have good rapport with. Tell them about what it is that you're doing and get them to put in some complicated or long ass password that you would never guess what it is in like a million years. And then that way you can't access any of those kinds of sites even if you really wanted to. I know this one right here may seem a little bit unorthodox, but if you're serious about kicking this habit, it's definitely a very effective strategy and I highly recommend it. And the third and final way that you can kick this habit for good is to replace the habit. It's very difficult for you to just, or anyone for that matter, to just stop a habit cold turkey without first having another habit lined up to take its place. Now, obviously, you want to replace it with something healthier, more productive, and preferably something that's going to get you to where it is that you want to go. So, for example, you could pick up a new hobby. Maybe you wanted to always play or learn how to play guitar or some shit like that. You could start hitting the gym whenever you get an urge. You could start going out and meeting girls in real life. Start approaching women. That's a good one as well. That's actually something I would highly recommend. All right? Because the thing is, once you actually start going out and meeting and interacting, dating and hooking up with different girls in real life, you'll start to wonder why you even resorted to porn in the first place. And that's definitely gonna build your confidence even more, all right? And if you need help in that area of building up your confidence, I have a free confidence building ebook right at top there in the link in the description. Make sure and check it out, because in there I put down everything that I went through, all the short-term and long-term objectives that I use to increase my confidence. So it'll definitely help you out. Make sure and download it. Absolutely free. All you got to do is put in your name and your email. You're good to go. So with that being said, I think it's about time to wrap this up. There are the 4 reasons on why you should quit porn, and there, right there I think, are the 3 ways on how to do it. If you enjoyed the video and you made it this far, make sure and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done it already, make sure and hit that subscribe button. But I will see you all in the next video. Stay motivated and disciplined. Peace.
I'm seeing people that are consistently in depression, doing work where there's just visibly no connection. Of course they'll be bitter like literally every second, where there's no greater purpose that's giving people direction. I could say it till I'm blue in the face and my voice is hoarse, but at the end of the day, the choice is yours. Can't convince you with these raps I recite.